And we're live! Yay! Excuse me. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. Our Canadian buddy decided not to show up again, so it's just me and old Jay Nagy here talking about stonks, cryptos, whatever other crap you want us to talk about. Welcome back. If you haven't already, subscribe to my freaking channel and Jay Nagy's too.
Okay, I'll start it off, dude. I listened to an episode of Millennial Money, and dude, I didn't realize how dumb they all were. I mean, I knew they were dumb until they started talking about I have a Tesla price target somewhere in the 500s, and I was sitting there going, I don't get how you guys can be doing this for years and still be so utterly clueless.
It's because they're story investors. There's two types of investors. There's people that invest on stories, like, oh, this is going to be this. And then there's people like you and I that actually look at fundamentals. So that's why they've been so popular, I think, is because the stupid bull market makes everybody seem like they're a genius. Especially if you bought Tesla, because you buy a bunch of hype stocks, you're going to get lucky with one or two. And these people, they all bought Tesla, and now they look like geniuses because they did that.
Well, I did a video last night. I haven't put it up yet. It talks about it was from Market Watch. What's going on, guys? It's from Market Watch, and they talked about how they think this is going to play out. They said expect pretty much it's going to go sideways for a while before all these new investors start realizing that it's not easy money. And then that's when they're all going to try and take their profits and it's all going to crash. And then I am running numbers on Amazon. And I mean, no matter what you do, it is so massively overvalued that I've gotten numbers where I thought I was stupid. So I had to go check with Everything Money software. I was like,
sign up for their software.
Yeah, man, because I can do that or Morningstar, and I can get 30 years of financials.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, I can either sign up for Morningstar or, one of these other sites, or I can get this for $25 a month, and I can look up whatever financial information I want to help me. And I chalk it up to entertainment money because I really don't go out that much anymore. So it's like, while I'm home, I don't mind doing it. I might as well look it through some financial statements. But I mean, when I first got my number, I had to go check Guru Focus. And then I had to look up the Benjamin Graham number on Amazon because I couldn't believe the numbers I was getting.
Yeah, I mean, the stocks that have carried the market have been all those big stocks: Amazon, Apple, the FANGs. And I personally think they're a terrible deal. And if those go down, everybody else goes down too.
Well, look at it like this. I just take the simple metric, right? You just take this one simple metric. Its earnings per share is $57, right? Amazon once dropped by 95%. And I know right now it's different because they have free cash flow. Like a lot of the late 90s tech stocks didn't have any cash flow. And people who knew what they were doing were like, kind of like now in some of these highly speculative places, we're like, what are you guys talking about? This thing doesn't even have cash flow. But I mean, if you just start with a simple metric, a PE of 9, which Microsoft was trading there earlier in the decade, you're at $513.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of seems low, though. I would say probably 15 for a big company.
Think about it like a sine wave, dude. As overly optimistic as people can get, they can get that pessimistic.
Yeah, I mean, temporarily they can, but I think in the long run, most big companies will probably have a PE of 15 just based on historical metrics. But yeah, I mean, if Amazon crashed, I could totally see people just panicking and overselling it. And then, yeah, maybe it would be having a PE of 9.
Yeah, and it's like a PE of 15 would give you $855. But I mean, like, I ran ridiculous numbers just to try and see if I could get the price to where it is today. And I had to put in 40% per year for the next decade.
Well, here's the thing. The main thing that makes Amazon so expensive is if you use the terminal multiple, if you have a high multiple of free cash flow, because it's trading at like what, or it's been trading at like 50 or 60 price to free cash flow, which is freaking insane.
It's at like 70, I think. Priced at free cash.
It's some crazy number. But yeah, if you use numbers like that, yeah, that's how you get Amazon's crazy valuation. But if you stop using that insanity, then that stock's worth a lot less.
But I mean, this gets to the biggest problem with Amazon, right? Walmart and Amazon have almost the exact same free cash flow. Walmart is massively overvalued right now itself. A 30 PE ratio for a stalwart company? Are you kidding me? Who's paying for that? Like, I consider Alibaba at 21. I consider that paying a premium for its cash flows.
But you got to factor in growth too. I mean,
no, I am, but that's
not a bad deal.
No, that's what I'm saying, because I'm factoring in what I think the Chinese economy is going to do with its emerging middle class. That's why I'm willing to pay it. I might even pay a premium of 30 on Alibaba. But when you look at Walmart, I mean, they've pretty much expanded across the globe. Amazon is pretty much expanded across the globe. You can call Amazon a software company, but it has gross margins like retail. So
I think a big part of it could be the AW, and you're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if you have like internet problems, but AWS is like the main thing people are looking at. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying like AWS, Amazon Web Services. I think that's like the main thing that people are fixating on because it's growing so rapidly, and that's even Jeremy Lefebvre mentioned that. He's like, "Oh, that's why I'm buying Amazon now." we need to talk about his that decision too. But I think that's why a lot of people like Amazon.
I'm glad he did it. This is why, because when that thing crashes, he's going to be shown to be when his Tesla stock and Amazon crash, he's going to be shown to be the moron that he is.
Yeah, all he has to do is, okay, that one stock didn't do well. This is what happens in investing. This is what he's going to say. And then he's just going to be pumping different stocks. I mean, he can make this last forever, especially because he has enough fanatical, loyal fans that, believe in everything.
Oh, I know. Some of them that have attacked me, and I'm sitting there and I'm going, I've said this before. I go, I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan. Do you know how much time I spend defending him online? 0. You know what I mean? That's what I don't get about these guys. They're like, we follow Chris Sane because he's a role model and he does his due diligence. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. I've
never seen a more disgusting, despicable scam artist than Chris Sane. I mean, at least the other YouTubers give some kind of justification. He literally just tells you to buy meme stocks for no reason. It's like, I don't understand. How does he have 500,000 subscribers? It doesn't click with me. It's like the dumber you are, the more successful you are on YouTube.
Well, it's also time. You got Lefebvre's been doing it since 2015. Andre G.
New. He's new. He's only been around for like a year.
Probably because he started right when he started pumping meme stocks, which were going up right as COVID hit and everything went astronomical.
I have another suspicion too, which I won't mention it on this live stream, but I think there's another reason why his channel may have been preferred by YouTube and pumped up, especially if he came around during that time period. But we can talk about that offline. But in general, the guy's a freaking moron, there's actually a whole subreddit on Reddit that literally just trashes him 24/7. It's pretty hilarious.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah,
There is. I might
Arthur
have to start.
Payne. It's awesome. All they do is dump on him because now he's like deleting comments that are negative and whatever. Because
Well,
like he's getting so much hate.
well, dude, I told you what I'm gonna do. I don't know when, but I'm gonna do that phone call that he's willing to do, and then when he gets on there, I'm gonna start asking him about stocks, and I'm gonna be like, oh, well, this is good, but like, why is it good?
He won't tell you. No, but if you ever like get him to admit some stupid justification and you film it and you put that on YouTube, you're gonna get a lot of support because there's a huge like hatred of him out there. Which I'm surprised. Like I made videos dumping on him, but they don't seem to get many views. I don't know if the algorithm just buries it or what, but there's an army of people that do not like him.
Well, I mean, when you consider what he does, though, versus what Lefebvre does, where he takes $20,000 from people.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I'm just talking about like his investment abilities and how I'm shocked that he was able to build such a huge following. At least Jeremy gives justifications. He like looks at the 10K, whatever. Chris Sain doesn't do anything. He just literally just mentions random stocks. He's kind of like Stockmo,
Well, Stockmo, he's deleting all of his videos where he makes prediction, like all his workhorse videos, they're now gone.
Yeah, did you see that on Everything Money? Is that where you learned that? That's pretty freaking hilarious. Like,
yeah,
own your mistakes, buddy. Own them.
How much time am I? I wish Stockmo did a coaching phone call too, so I could call him and ruin that guy's career also.
Oh, he'd probably charge you a fortune, dude.
Well, the worst thing about it is
you're breaking up. Hey, you might want to try turning off your camera. Maybe that'll make your audio come in better because you're like really breaking up.
I don't know what's going on. Is it still breaking up?
Oh, you sound better now.
No, but I think it's because every time I'm hitting a wire, it's doing something because my computer's a piece of crap. But he said that he taught this stuff at a high school, and I'm like, don't you think that if you were teaching somebody, you should be able to do a discounted cash flow?
Dude, I don't think I think most teachers don't know anything about finance. Like, you look at Wall Street and how Wall Street behaves. They don't care about value investing. They care about short-term BS, So even if you have all these licenses and you're a financial advisor, I don't care. To me, you're just still an idiot like everybody else.
Well, it's like my mom's money guy. Like you said, he's probably got her in actively managed funds, which is going to probably end up costing 2 to 3% over the, you know what I mean?
I would say 3%, man. You factor in all those fees and taxes and transaction costs, 3%. That's like $500,000 probably over a lifetime.
When she told me, I go, so what does he charge you? She goes, oh, he just charges 1%. I went, God damn it, Chris was right.
Look, dude, I know these people. Okay, I was in the scoundrel industry for a couple months, but I felt so greasy and nasty. I had to quit that job.
When my mom goes, she goes, Ron likes to look up index funds and talk with him about that stuff, and I'm like, God, my stepdad doesn't know anything about it either. If he's going along like that. And here's the worst part. If I sat those two down and actually explained it to them, if I looked through their stuff and then explained how much money they were losing, they would tell me I was wrong.
Well, especially if it's like your child. I feel like a lot of parents, even if your child is right, they can't stand being like, oh, my child knows more than me. That's impossible. So they won't listen to you because you're just a little boy. Even if you're 40-something years old and you know what you're talking about. So I don't care. Whatever. If they don't want to listen, then what are you going to do?
Yeah, did I forget to pay the bill? No, this is impossible for me to forget to pay. I just have it go to my credit card.
I bet you Jay's stealing his neighbor's internet.
Dude, what if it's he's not on here right now? What if Nate's salty at me, so he's interrupting my internet?
He's like slowly cutting the wire.
Wait, I wanted to read something. Yeah, right here. Everything Money deleted my comment recently for the slightest critique. WBA is not that great of an investment compared to CVS. You know, I was going to actually look at Walgreens or in deeper, like a little bit deeper dive, because I looked at them recently and I was like, okay, if you guys want to go in, I'm not seeing it. I'm just not. You know, like, but it's also everybody has different ideas on how they want to go about something. And like, if I was talking to, say, Seth on there, and he was talking to me about the magic formula, I would go, okay, bro, but you really have no business doing that. Here's why. Is you're better off buying the entire world and then having 5 to 10% of your money as speculation money. It's just more time efficient and you can score more home runs that way. If you're just like sitting around maxing your tax advantage accounts and you're like, I don't like anything, you don't feel the pressure to invest every month because you already are. So you can just pile that money up. Oh, this company is just massively disconnected from reality. Here, let me throw 1% of my portfolio at it. And so, I mean, that's where I honestly disagree with Everything Money. Like, I would tell him that. Like, I still think even Paul, with everything that he knows, is wasting his time by going more than 20% individual stocks.
Yeah, I mean, I made a video about Sven Carlin's course. I mean, the money you're paying for the course is money you could invest, number one. And even for Everything Money, they're going to keep raising their prices. They say it over and over again. So eventually they're going to be charging as much as all these other places. And then number two, all the amount of time you're spending researching stocks. You know, you could be doing like another job or learning a new skill. There's a huge opportunity cost instead of, you know, for finding individual stocks instead of just investing in an index fund, you know, then going and enjoying your life. So,
well, I mean, like I enjoy doing this little discounted cash flow on Excel just to rule it out, but I'm probably only going to do one stock a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like,
it was cool to do. Like I did it a little bit. I was like, oh, I've never really done this before. And then I did a couple of them and I was like, well, at the end of the day, it's just speculation. It's all guesswork and speculation. It's a waste of my time.
Well, yeah, and so I mean, I watch Everything Money's stuff while I'm at work. So it's like I get why they're doing it. Also, they're making a video, and it's a job to them. That's like part of his employment now is making videos. So I understand why they're doing that. But I mean, if I met those guys and I was eating dinner with them, I'd be like, you're not going to go wrong doing the magic formula, but I just think that you're putting in way too much effort. Like you said, you could be learning another skill that would give you another revenue stream. If you're a normal person, you're like, well, I could look at these stocks, or you know what? Hey, medical billing and coding. That pays $16 to $30 an hour. I can do it from the beach. Why don't I do that instead and just max my tax advantage accounts and then put whatever's left over into another index fund and a brokerage account? Like, why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah, and the other thing is, because like if you're putting your money away in a tax advantage account, you're really not tracking it all the time. It's just kind of like put away for retirement. And that's a good thing because then you're not tempted to like check it all the time. Because what happens is if you buy individual stocks, everybody knows, like you all check your stocks like every freaking day probably. And the more you check it, the more, well, maybe not you, Jay, but most people I think check their stocks every freaking day. And if you do that, you're going to eventually be tempted to You know, maybe you see a video about a new hot stock, or maybe you see one of your stocks crash. You might be tempted to sell out or change your plan. So the more hands off you are, the better, in my opinion. That's why I'm not huge in individual stocks.
Yeah, well, it's also like, can you predict the future? I've said this on numerous occasions, man. Like, you know, a new CEO could come into Amazon and run it into the ground. Do I think that's realistic? No, but is it within the realm of possibility? Yes. So, like I said, you know, if you want to pick individual stocks and you enjoy it, do it, but do it with a small part of your portfolio. And understand you're gonna find disagreements out there. Like, I think Eric just did a video on Suncor where he said it's really not a good investment. He was getting like a 7% return. Warren Buffett bought a bunch of it. So you're going to even disagree with.
Imagine if Eric was right, Warren Buffett was wrong.
It would be funny, but it's happened before. Warren Buffett has been wrong on stocks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody's going to be wrong on stocks, except for me, of course. Everybody's going to be wrong at some point, you know. So the Chicken Genius put out a video, and he explained why he doesn't like value investing. It's a recent video. And he said it's because, like, he did a fundamental analysis, and he bought, like, one or two stocks that subsequently crashed. And then he was like, well, that convinced me that value investing is stupid. And it's like, no, you're always going to have that risk of, even if you do your due diligence, if you're in one company, there's always some unforeseen event that could happen that could screw everything up. But the whole point of value investing is you get it right more often than not because you're actually looking at fundamentals.
But what was the stocks he bought though? Alibaba's crashed by 40% since October, and I'm happy about it. If Alibaba went to $100 next week, I would have to be buying it hand over fist.
Yeah, he bought, like, it was a prison stock was one of them, and then it was something else. But
that dude is a moron. Dude, that guy is a moron. He's dumber than Chris Sane. He might be, him and Stockmo have to be like two of the stupidest people on the planet. I bet you if they had never seen a doorknob before, and you showed them how it functioned, neither one of them would be able to retain that information long enough to get into your house. You'd close the door behind you, and those two would be sitting there looking at it. They're like, maybe if we yell Elon Musk at that round knob there, the door will open.
Yeah, they're both like, I don't know, man. It's like beating a dead horse. There's so many retards out there. But the thing is, think of all the fans they have. How dumb do they have to be listening to these morons? You know, month after month, even when their stocks go down, they still listen to them. You know, it's like it's almost like a cult. It's like a fanatical cult that these people have. I need to start a cult, man.
Dude, I've got a joke that I got to kind of rough out the edges about that. I go, if you want to be terrified in life, think about how easy it is to get into the military on the ASVAB, right? And then think about this. There are people too dumb to pass the ASVAB. That's how terrifyingly dumb some human beings are.
Yeah, so Bashar Baruti says, not dumb, ignorant. I beg to defer. I mean, yeah, some people are new to investing and they have no idea, but if you continue to follow these people over and over time and you don't realize that they're just screwing you, at that point, I think you're very gullible and dumb. But, I mean, yeah, if you initially don't know anything about investing, okay, I can forgive you, but these guys should be figured out pretty quickly, and they're not, and that's what's terrifying.
If you spend 3 hours on Boglehead.org, you'll have enough knowledge to know that these guys are dumb. Like, I would explain it like this. My mom is not dumb. She's just ignorant about, she doesn't understand the fees and what that's going to add up to over a lifetime. That's ignorance. Chicken Genius is just dumb. See, the problem, I'm going to tell you the exact problem on why we are where we are. Dumb people speak confidently because they're not aware of the risks. Smart people speak cautiously because we understand there's so many variables in moving parts. Listen to a bunch of scientists with Neil deGrasse Tyson interviewing them talk. They'll be like, well, we went into the mathematics of the universe, and what we found was self-replicating code. William Gates said that. And they go, what does it mean? He goes, I have no idea. Like, that is a smart person. He's like, I have no idea. But so it's easy to fall for these guys like Jeremy going, well, Amazon's a no-brainer. But is it, dude? Well, you pay a premium for growth. Yeah, but that premium for growth is always relative.
Dude,
okay?
Hasn't Amazon, like, okay, so in my mind, why is Amazon a buy for him now if he's such a genius when the stock, I think, has gone up pretty significantly over the past couple of years? Why didn't he buy it way in the past? Why is he buying it now? You know?
Yeah, it's up 50% because he's a momentum guy. He's looking at it recently. Recently, there was a slight pullback in Amazing's on because he's not clever enough to think up anything else. Yeah, that's all. And so I would think, though, at this point, you would have educated yourself enough to be like, hey, guys, Amazon's just massively overvalued. What are you basing that on? Well, management is expecting a 12 to 15% growth rate, okay, over the next 10 years, right? So that would justify a PE in the 15 or 16 range. That's where the stock should be trading. I'm just trying to get it at an 8 or a 9.
Well, I mean, so how much, like, on average, I don't know if there's a statistic, but like on average, how does like a super developed company, how fast do they normally grow their revenues? Do you think it's maybe close to inflation? Because it seems like, what did you say?
I think
that seems pretty fast.
But that's really good growth. And that's what the PE ratio chart tells you that you'll get in that range. So, I mean, it's all rough estimate, but yeah, at a certain point, it becomes the company can't grow any larger because once you get to the size of the U.S. economy, you're growing between 1.5 and 3% a year, and that's what you can grow, right? Then you count in inflation. So there's a 4.5 to a 6% increase. And that's where most of the gains in the stock market are dividends plus inflation. Growth only accounts for a small amount. It's like, I think Sven Carlin said it's 2 or 3%.
Yeah,
so,
well, I think the formula is like earnings growth plus dividend yield plus or minus speculative gains. That's kind of how you calculate the total return for the market. But right now, I mean, I think most of our returns are probably coming from speculative gains. That's my
all speculative gains.
Yeah.
Microsoft is if I could own Microsoft and get it for the right price, I'm completely in. But Microsoft's trading at a 30-something PE, which I ran its intrinsic value, and when I did it with just PE times EPS, then I did discounted cash flows on it. And I'm getting that I want to pay under $115. Guru Focus has its intrinsic value at something like 109. Paul had it at 120. So, I mean, all of that is just, and so that's a great company to own. And, you know, like it's massively overvalued right now too. So, I mean, speculation is just everywhere.
It's not going to last forever. I'm just waiting. I'm going to be so happy whenever there's some kind of crash, correction, whatever.
Well, dude, like I told you before, when we do this, when that happens, I'm going to have one of those New Year's things you blow that it comes all the way out. And then I'm going to have the little cone hat on, and I'm going to be smoking a big fat Cuban cigar right here. And I'm going to start drinking on this day at 7. I'm going to have a glass of Lagavulin and it's just going to be nothing but you, me, and Eric celebrating.
Maybe that crypto guy too. Oh, so by the way, everybody, I don't know if we mentioned this, but I'm working a deal to get a cryptocurrency guy. He's got like 7,000 subscribers, but I think he runs like a liquidity pool. Like I think he has like a legit business venture. I'm trying to get him on the channel, and then we can have a delicious debate about cryptocurrency. Maybe he'll crush me, and I'll change my mind and go 100% Cardano or whatever he likes. But that's just an announcement for y'all.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be me. It's going to be right back to the conversation that I had with John, where I'm like, talk to me like I'm retarded, that like I ride the short bus, and explain to me how this is not the greater fool theory.
Yeah, I mean, but also on top of that, I just want to learn a little bit more about what staking is. You know, like I kind of want to understand the ecosystem a little bit. It doesn't mean it's going to change my mind about its investment qualities, but I would like to know more. So it'd be nice to talk about that too. I'm
going to start off with when he's like, after we do the introductions, I'm just going to go, take me to school on crypto. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to be like, I don't know a lot about it, man. I know it's a bunch of. Huh?
I said, bend over and I'll show you. You want to do some comments real quick? We have a ton of comments. Yeah. We can like jump around. Strongman, what the H? How's the family? They're delicious. Bitcoin is going to 100K. Yeah, I've heard a couple of people post that. It's like, why? Why is it going to 100K?
I wouldn't be.
Who made that claim, and how do you calculate that?
I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Doesn't mean I'm jumping in.
I mean, it could go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, but that doesn't mean it's worth anything. I say this every freaking video, roughly. Walmart has the same cash flows as Amazon. That's true. That blew my freaking mind, man. I was like, what? No way.
I was at work messing around, and I looked at it, and I go, hey, wait a sec. I looked at it like 3 or 4 times before I went, Chris, look at this. Am I seeing this right? It looks like Walmart and Amazon. Yeah, because I couldn't believe it. I was like,
what a crazy world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. Tech Lead made a ton of money off his views. Ex-Google Tech lead to con man. Yeah, dude, I'm making a follow-up video to that because CoffeeZilla just put a video out exposing him. And he basically said the same things I did like a month ago. You know, that guy was a total scumbag.
Dude, did he sell out of his position?
He hasn't sold all of it, but he doesn't have to sell all of it to make a ton of money because like he owned all the coins to begin with, and then he just creates the coins out of thin air basically, and then he sells the coins for real dollars or whatever freaking stable coin it is. He sells them and then he just instantly makes money for creating a coin out of thin air. And the more people buy it, the coins that he still holds, he can hold some coins until the price goes up and then slowly dump them over time. And I think CoffeeZilla said he made like $3 million. Total freaking scam. Just stealing from the audience.
Dude, but you might get your cheeks clapped for that.
Who, me?
No, him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. He's going to get hammered by some kind of government entity. But if that doesn't prove to you, ladies and gentlemen, that crypto is mostly a freaking scam, it's a disaster, what else is going to prove to you? Like, if you can't see the scumbaggery that's involved in crypto just by watching Tech Lead, there's no way to convince you not to buy it. So,
yeah, keep going. More comments. I'm right now.
New subscriber, welcome, Robert. He says me and you are now his 2 favorite YouTubers.
Sweet.
Turner, why would you say that? Ethereum going to the moon. Of course. Tim Robinson, are you a rapper, bro? Booty rocket coin going to the moon. That's probably a real coin. I wouldn't be surprised.
Truck stop.
Why is he coming back? Why couldn't he just delete himself? Oh, dude. So there was a poll on one of the news outlets, and he's like the front runner for challengers to Gavin Newsom. That would be hilarious if he actually won the governorship of California.
Dude, it would be the funniest thing I have ever seen. because when he gets into the governor's office, he is going to get exposed as the absolute moron that he is. I hope he wins.
Me too, dude. I hope he does win.
It's just such comedy. Well, I'm going to round up all the homeless using the National Guard. Pretty sure that's unconstitutional, my friend. But okay, the National Guard.
Let him go. Don't just let him do his thing for a couple months, and then we'll circle back and we'll review all his actions. But so he actually had this thing where, like, if you spread his campaign on social media, you would be entered into a raffle. And if you win the raffle, you get to like fly to California with me, Kevin, and campaign with him. I thought about entering the raffle just to see if I could somehow get flown out to meet me, Kevin, so I could just dump on him for like 3 days. But he won't let me.
Yeah, but dude, what I would do is I'd go out there and pretend like I was on his side, and then wait till we got to a big rally, and then I'd just expose him.
You'd probably be mobbed. You'd probably be burned at the stake.
Hey, that's been happening to heretics since forever.
Yeah, that's a good way to go. If you actually expose them and people believed it. Square has a very low PE of 345 and a price to free cash flow of 740. Wow.
That was everything money, dude. And people think you pay $345 for growth. I mean, I'm going to take 345 years to get all my money back.
It's going to grow super fast, bro. I mean, they make money off Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's the future. So as soon as I saw they made like 40% of their revenues, I forgot, but a huge portion of their revenues came from Bitcoin. I was like, I'm not touching that company, even if it is a growth stock.
Yeah, dude, it's got to massively fall. Whatever. Sorry, I don't know what's up. What's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube? Chris, say what's up, guys? I can't wait till Tesla drops 90%. All these dumb Fs on Twitter will disappear. Nope, they'll be screaming buy the dip. They ain't going anywhere, buddy.
What's going to happen is they're going to blame short sellers like Jeremy did for getting in trouble with the SEC. They're
going to blame me. They're going to kill me and you. They're going to murder us. Could you imagine us dying because of this?
Dude, both you and I are armed. They come to my house, and I know.
Dude, the Tesla shills are crazy, man. They'll come after you.
If the Tesla shills are coming here, and they know that they're taking me out of the house to burn me at the stake to worship to the Tesla gods, so that Tesla's stock price goes back up, I am going out swinging.
They're gonna carve a Tesla symbol into your chest.
Yeah,
and then a Dogecoin on your forehead. And then
and it's like you and I are to blame because we didn't have faith, and now Elon Musk has left for Mars because two people didn't have enough faith in him.
I mean, I kind of say it as a joke, but if you really look at how fanatical some of these people are and how much of their money's tied up in Tesla, if it does go down and they identify a scapegoat, I would be really concerned if I was that scapegoat. I'm just saying.
I would be too, dude. I would be going into hiding.
Yeah.
I would
I'd
be like,
go to the moon.
I would probably relocate to some small town in Bavaria.
Sorry, I just have to keep bringing those up. Christine, let's hit some home runs.
Dude, that's what I can't figure out. I think he just made up his portfolio.
Well, there's all sorts of theories that he's like continuing to like sell out of some positions and transfer money in because he never shows his total returns. And I don't think he shows his entire portfolio. So, and it just seems sketchy to me, you know?
Well,
especially the numbers aren't moving and the market's going up. It's like, come on, everybody's made money this year. How can you be so dumb that you make no money?
anytime you're showing a massive portfolio to people, I just go to, okay, you're trying to go with an appeal to authority to get people to listen to you. So instead of going on giving out solid advice, you're like, oh, I have a $159,000 portfolio. Oh, this guy must know what he's talking about. And it's like, yeah, but he doesn't. But he has $159,000. Like, I don't care. A guy could.
That's all.
A guy could have started literally last year and have a $2,000 portfolio. And if he's 95% index funds and he's doing discounted cash flows, I want to hear his opinion. I have $1 million portfolio and it's like 90% Tesla. Okay, you're a moron, and I don't want to hear your opinion.
Wouldn't it be funny if Tesla actually just does keep going up and then we're proven wrong? Wouldn't that be hilarious, Jay?
It can't, though. It always comes back to fundamentals.
No, it's the future, bro. You're a dinosaur. You just don't understand.
I look at it like this. This is the way I look at stonks. I look at stonks as little cash flow machines, right? So I look at the market cap. I look at Amazon and Walmart. I used this example last time. I can buy a cash machine that pays me $25 a year for $450, or I can pay $1,800 for that cash machine. Roughly the same amount of money. Which one would I buy? It's obvious. Tesla is what you looked up. Did you look up the free cash flow on Tesla?
No.
When you compared it to Ford or GM, whichever one you compared it to?
No, I was looking at income statement items. And then
okay.
So I did like profit, revenue, car sales, and gross profit, net income. But I did a couple things, but it wasn't free cash flow. I probably should have done that too.
But I mean, let's look at it like this. I don't know what GM did in sales, but I guarantee you it's more than Tesla's.
So here's how I knew the Tesla people were full of crap, because if you go on their channels, they're saying, oh, they doubled their revenue from last quarter, guys, and they doubled the number of cars. You go look at the other companies. All the other car companies had pretty good years too. Like GM almost, I think they double their revenues? I think they did from what I remember, but they actually grew their revenues faster than Tesla. And this is an established company. And they sold 3.5 times more cars. Like, come on. Like, how crazy do you have to be to justify a $700 billion market cap for Tesla? It's insanity.
That would be... hold on.
I think they should have a $100 billion market cap.
They would need to be doing $35 billion a year
in net income
at a $700 billion market cap.
Okay, and what was their profit margin? Let's just say their profit margin was 6. So you said 30 what?
35 billion. If you're using 20 as the multiple.
All right, so they need $583 billion of revenue to get $35 billion of net income.
How much do they need?
$583 billion of revenue.
All right, I'm going to tap out on this because these numbers make no sense.
Yeah, I mean, they're stupid.
All right, dude, yeah. I don't know why we keep talking about it, but we all know that it's just massively overvalued. I'm just sitting here waiting for the crash to happen, just so people go.
You know why we're talking about it? So one day when the crash happens, we can say we were right, and then we can create our own course and our own cryptocurrency, and we can become millionaires. Okay, that's the plan,
dude. And like ARK sold Alibaba because she's all about momentum. She calls herself a value investor, but it's all about momentum. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why this thing is so hard to get. If you look at, you just kept two numbers in mind. If you would said, I want like above a 15% return, and you went and you just looked at free cash flow increasing every year, averaged it out, and then bought stocks at a 10 to 12 PE ratio that were increasing their cash flows, you'd do extremely well over the course of your life. On just those two metrics. It would really all be all that it took.
Yeah, but nobody understands, man. No, it took me a while to really get this stuff too, because it's not taught in school. I mean, I did accounting, and that's when it finally clicked with me. Like, okay, maybe I should look at the profits, and now I understand how to read the statements, so I can figure out how to project them. But most people don't have that background, so they just buy stocks based on hype, or what they like to use.
Well, that's why I've gotten a bunch of people out of individual stocks at work.
What? I had 800 before I started. Who unsubscribed? Let me check.
Bro.
Outrageous.
Go to K at 743. Warren Redlick. I did a video on him because he said his personal portfolio, just his, is like 85% Tesla. What I said is, when this thing drops, that guy is too old to recover from this, and he will be down at the truck stop. There is no way around it. He's going to have to come over and borrow a red wig that I have. And
why do you have a red wig?
Because I was going to do No, I have a red wig because I was going to do a character that was talking about how he bought all hype stocks, and it's like me from the future, and I have like crappy makeup on and a red wig.
You need to do it. Come on. That's awesome. 798. What? Did I lose another subscriber? Oh my God.
Dude, Eric is growing like crazy.
What's he at now?
I think last time I looked, it was 405.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've hit like a brick wall with my subscribers. Like I had like this huge explosion, and then it just stopped. I was like, oh God. Yeah, he's at 417 now. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm at like 331 or 332.
Turner, you dick. Now 799. You guys, I'm so used to losing subscribers. Like, I'll make a video, somebody will like it, and then I'll make another video about some stock I don't like, and you're like, how could you criticize my favorite stock? And then they leave. It's like, all right, whatever.
Dude, I had a guy tell me I was part of the problem because Bio Nano stock said, you're part of the problem, you pessimistic douchebag. Like, this is a beast of a growth stock. And I'm sitting there going, I'm just looking at numbers, my dude.
Yeah, people call me ignorant, stupid, and, I'm a short seller. It's like, no, I just looked at the financial statements. How is this not DD? That's another thing they say. Oh, you don't do your due diligence. Come on.
I got told I don't do my due diligence while I was reading the Lordstown 10K.
Dude, Lordstown
least amount of due diligence I've seen. Like, I'm like, what do you want me to do? I know this company is a loser. Do you think I'm going to go and look through all of the financials to find out how much this company owns in property that I can sell off? Do you think I'm going to waste my time doing that to see if it's got, I don't know, 10 million worth of property, plant, and equipment, and it's selling for 5 million? Do you honestly think I'm going to waste my time doing that? Because that's the only way I could get a value of Lordstown is what it owns, because it's not profitable.
I mean, life's short, and if you find a company that is crap and unprofitable, doesn't produce anything, why would you waste your time doing hours and days and weeks of research? Just move on to the next stock, or just buy an index fund and then go to the beach.
That's what I'm saying. It's the smartest approach. And when you did that video, right, about the run-up in VGT versus the entire world market, but people are too dumb to see is you have a long time horizon, right? The more that goes up, like you're investing in it on the curve, the less money, the less you're buying less and less of it for the same amount of money because it's getting more and more expensive. Ideally, and this is just me because of how I'm going to invest for retirement. I want the stock market to do this for as long as possible. So those dividends are just going back in and compounding for me.
You know what's funny is actually, hold on, we gotta put this comment up. All right. So okay, anyway, back to what we were talking about. So
wait, go one further because this warms my heart. Well, I'll be honest with you. I was total U.S. stock market. Chris convinced me to go to total world market.
All I got, just look in the past, ladies and gentlemen. Do some research. America's not the end-all, be-all. Especially all these clowns that are in growth, U.S. growth. I pity those people. Like that, what's his freaking name? The guy I did the video on, the average Joe. He was like 100% U.S. stock, and he had it all in a growth index fund. So he's probably like super concentrated in like 3 companies, some of the FANG stocks. And he's just going to get freaking annihilated. And he tells people to put their savings accounts in a freaking stock ETF. Like, oh my God, that's horrible advice. And there were people in the comments like, oh, thanks, man. Thanks for telling me this. Garbage.
Why would I do that when I can get 2% in a money market fund? And I know
even
it's not.
Even if you make way less, if you need the money and the market crashes, you're screwed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You want that money to be stable no matter what. But he doesn't understand that. And actually, I looked at a graph. The ETF went down like 30-something% during the crisis. So if you lost your job and you needed savings, your ETF's down 30%. There goes a third of your savings.
Yeah, dude. I'm getting hammered in the comments right now by my internet. Can you imagine if Elon Musk, I get a knock out the door and it's Elon Musk and he's like, Nagi, your internet sucks. And he just hooks me up with Starlink or whatever he's working on.
I mean, if he likes you, he might give you a lifetime of free Starlink. That'd be pretty dope. I would sign up for it.
Dude, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about this, like, if you were sitting around, like Elon Musk, honestly, seems like a decent dude. I don't shit on him too much. The only reason I crap on Tesla is because it's just massively overvalued. I don't know that I'll ever buy a Tesla. I just don't like the aesthetics of them. But if I was talking to him, I guarantee you behind closed doors, he would be talking about how massively overvalued Tesla is.
Oh, they know. They all know. But hey, they got stock options, so why not? Oh, this is fun. All right, we'll do a couple more comments. Real comments. You guys are so mean. Interest rates are 0. You have 0 options. Well, I mean, you could always just hold cash if you really wanted to.
You could hold treasuries, man. You get 1.3 to 1.7.
Yeah, I've got like short-term treasuries and like short-term inflation protected. That's probably the best place besides a savings account.
Yeah, probably. Was it? Plus, his Roth IRA has $6,000 while his taxable account with dividend stocks has $70,000. Great logic. Yeah, that's the same dude you did, Average Joe.
Average Joe, yeah, he's a dividend investor and he has it all in a taxable account. And he had O as a big percentage or a pretty significant percentage in his taxable account. You talk about tax inefficient investing, those dividends. The guy is a moron.
Unqualified dividends, man. Taxed as ordinary income. But, dude, I hate that. I hate that term. I'm a dividend investor. Yeah, so am I. I get dividends from my index funds.
Dude, once I learned that dividends literally do nothing except make you pay taxes, I was infuriated. Just absolutely infuriated. Because like for years, I loved dividend day on my mutual fund, and then now I finally realized, oh crap, I'm actually just losing money.
What are you talking about? I still love dividend day when it's in a tax advantaged account.
When it's in a tax advantage account, but nothing changes. Your total balance doesn't change. But I have this Vanguard thing, and every year I get a huge tax bill because I was stupid, and it's all from the dividends.
Oh.
Cheeks clapped.
Probably in reference to Bussy Coin. No, in reference to Tech Lead's scam of his fans. That's another thing. Like that, I shut this guy up. He commented on my Meet Kevin. He goes, "This broke loser talking about Meet Kevin." I just go, I was going to fire back at him something different, but I just said, I make $3,000 a month before I go to work, homie. You?
It broke losers trademarked on my book. Okay, nobody else can say that except me.
I'm a broke loser.
Who gave him the bright idea?
I don't know, but I was sitting there on Valuetainment, right? And this is when I realized that you don't actually have to know a lot about investing to run a company successfully. Was Patrick Beta or whatever Test or whatever that guy's name is on there. When he was talking to Meet Kevin, and because if I was talking to Meet Kevin, I'd be like, listen, man, what you're doing is immoral. And he was like, what are you talking about? I'd be like, your portfolio is garbage and you encourage people to buy all these trash stocks. But he was talking about how successful he was. And I'm like, this guy is a straight grifter. You know, that guy runs a successful company. And he's also talking about baseball cards as investment. And I'm like, how do you run a multi-million-dollar company and not know basic stuff like this?
Yeah, the disconnect is astounding. Even with people that you think are super smart because they have a lot of money, you'd be surprised how freaking dumb they are. A lot of the times they just get big because the algorithm picks it up, or maybe they have charisma, but that doesn't mean that they're good investors.
But back to Meet Kevin, I have no idea where he got the idea that he could just use the National Guard to round up homeless people and then force them into housing. Like, this runs against the basic principle of freedom. I don't agree that homeless people should be able to camp on the beach, but they also shouldn't just be targeted because they're homeless by the military. I don't know where this wannabe little crackpot got his ideas from, because that would get shot down in court real quick.
Look, Meet Kevin's going to save the world, all right? He saved everybody from poverty by pumping crypto and Tesla, and now he's going to save all the homeless people.
What if he becomes president, right, and ushers in a dictatorship, and the four morons of the financial apocalypse run the economy, but they have us burned at the stake?
Oh, dude, if he was like a fascist dictator, we'd be dead. Like, he would literally come after us and kill us.
He would have came after you, and then because I'm on your live streams, then I would have got a knock at the door, and then because I'm not going on the train ride to the train yard, I'm going out swinging. And by
I'll be live streaming, you'll just see a black bag go over my head, and then I'm gone. Low key, we'll buy some Tesla if it drops. Oh, my gun's back there. I don't want to pick it up yet.
What if Meet Kevin becomes governor of California and he forces people to all buy Tesla stock?
Well, then I'd probably buy too, because it's just the freaking momentum run up would be insane. Tesla free cash flow, 3.5 billion Zimbabwean dollars. Here's Tesla, autonomous driving, batteries. It's the future. The one thing that people don't understand is that some people just don't like the design of Tesla cars. A lot of people want the standard, delicious American truck. And now they're coming out with electric versions.
Well, but here's a question, dude. When do you think that everybody's going to find out about how EVs are not clean like everybody thinks that they are to solve climate change?
Nobody's going to find out. It doesn't matter. It's just the narrative that you're doing a good thing by buying an EV. That's all that matters. I don't think there's going to be this mass awakening that EVs are not clean.
But it's going to have to get out there when enough people with a working brain go, hang on a second, but where does that electricity come from? It comes from my wall. No, but I mean, it has to be pumped in from somewhere else. Where is that? A coal-fired plant? Because the hippies in this country won't let us have nuclear power.
Yeah, but it's just the narrative, you know. If people buy into the narrative, they're not going to care about you actually explaining it. Doesn't matter. It's still cleaner than diesel or whatever. So, whatever. I'm not buying an electric car for a long time because if electric cars do take off and, you know, regular cars are hated and nobody wants to buy them anymore, that'll mean I have a bunch of super cheap cars I can buy and just drive around forever. And then I can spend that extra money and invest in VT.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to buy an electric vehicle, I'm going to wait and buy a used Ford Lightning.
Ford Lightning. I don't know how it works with like used electric cars. Like, does the battery go bad and then you have to replace it? And how much is that going to cost? I don't know what their shelf life is or their how long.
Well, the average, they're still selling internal combustion engines, right? The average lifetime, I think, now of a car is 12 years. So you're looking at 2033. You know, it's just not real. It's just not a realistic time frame.
Yeah, it's going to be slow and steady, especially if oil is super cheap. Yeah, people are going to still drive freaking internal combustion cars.
Dude, it is Tesla dildos. Now, go back to PBD is MLM scam artist. Is he really? Is that what that company is? I never looked into it. But it wouldn't surprise me. It's a multi-level marketing. It's multi-level marketing, and it's basically like you take profits from the people under you. Like it never actually works out except for a few people.
We need to do that. We got to find a way to monetize, bro.
We will. I got an idea. I got ideas, man. Wait till I get enough people because I got an idea for a T-shirt. It's called
Stock I'm going collar. Big on the T-shirts, dude.
Yeah, so much. This is. I've already thought one up. Do you remember the rap song "Baller"? Want to be a baller, shot caller. You remember that one?
No. Was that like in the 1970s or something? No, I'm just kidding.
It was in the late 90s, dick. But no, it's going to be stock caller index fund baller.
Oh, I'm gonna steal all your ideas and then delete you.
You're like, I need a new T-shirt idea. Can you come on my show?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I won't delete you again, and then I just do it again once I get all your ideas.
Yeah, dude, this guy gets it. 20-inch blades on the Impala. Yeah. Dude, that song's sick. I still jam to that song when I'm writing stand-up comedy.
Getting laid tonight.
Another line from the song.
Oh. I was like, that's cool, bro.
Hold on. I gotta get more water.
All right. Well, while Jay's gone, so eventually we're going to get Eric back on here. And then we're going to get that crypto guy back on here. And if there's anybody else that you want us to try to get on here to debate, let us know. Preferably smaller YouTubers, because the big guys don't want to talk to us. We're just little scumbags. We're not big enough to warrant their attention. But if you have like a decent crypto shill that you know about that's kind of small, let us know. We'll contact him. We'll try to get him on and debate him.
I mean, part of like, I'm not out to humiliate anybody unless it's like tech lead. But I mean, part of this is just curiosity. You're not going to convince me that it's anything, but I want to see how people's thought processes are working on this. Because, I mean, in all honesty, it's good for the audience and other people to hear it when you're just logically laying it out. You're like, listen, it's not currency, it's not store of value, it's not an investment.
Woo! So somebody just talked about Dogecoin. It's all the cryptos are shooting up now. It's like Dogecoin is at like 26 or something. So the Dogecoin millionaire is once again a millionaire. A millionaire.
Look, if you guys are like, if you're like balls deep in crypto, but you understand what it is, there's no reason you can't make extra money off it and consider it like a second job. Just understand eventually you're going to pay taxes on it. But I mean, if you know, it's like it's like technical analysis in day trading. Mo on Everything Money knows how to do it, even though most of his money is in actual investments. If you know how to do it and you're good at it, I think you should do it. But I'm not going to take the time to learn it because it just doesn't interest me.
Yeah, because I'm a Boglehead. I'm super anti-trading. It like revolts.
That's why I've been thinking about this. That's why I've been thinking about this lately. You know, if I'm Superman running the world, I'd reinstitute transaction on trades. When people got mad, I'd be like, this isn't a game. You know, you're actually messing up the market. So I want to disincentivize it and make you think long term. You'll be better off in the end. That's my 2 cents on it. I agree with Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett that now all this gamification of Robin stock, it's just not going to end well for a lot of people. And unfortunately, there are people that they don't even want to take 3 hours and go to the Boglehead forum and learn. You learn everything you need to know to be a good investor in the Boglehead forum. If you want to go deeper after that, go deeper. But if not, I have friends that talk to me about this and they wanted to get into it. And I go, how much do you want to do this? And they go, I'm like, do you want to spend time on the weekends reading financial statements? Because I do that. And they go, no. I go, target a date fund, or here, let me mix up the TSP for you. Go 30 international, 20 in the S fund, and then 40 in the C fund. Throw your money at it. Check it once a month to make sure there's no screwery in there, and just go about your life.
Yeah, I'm like my best return is when I never checked my account. It's pretty good. And I went to the bar. I hung out with my ex-wife. I just had a good time. Didn't have to worry about it. And I just maxed my accounts and everything was good. But
dude,
if you spend your time doing it, you go right ahead.
Well, I checked my account and I just look in there like, all right. Nothing screwy's going on. I usually check it once a week. Nothing screwy going on with my account. Like, we're in a massive bull market and I expect my portfolio to drop by about half. That's what I'm actually expecting is a half drop or more. And I actually think
it sucks so bad because like my portfolio was kind of flat for a while. I think in like 2017, 2018, the market wasn't really going up that much. And then now it's like, oh, it finally went up. But then I kind of know deep down, it's like, well, I have this amount, but it's probably going to get cut in half, Mm-hmm. So I really don't have that amount.
We're trading at, what are we trading at right now? What is the S&P? 44?
I don't even know. Yeah, it's got to be way over 4,000.
Okay, so expect a haircut of more. I think we're going to get a haircut of 60 to 70% at some point coming up here. And do you know what I'm going to do?
I don't know how bad it's going to be for VT though. I mean, because if it has a ton of international,
it'll drop. I bet VT only drops. I'm gonna place a bet now. I bet you it drops somewhere in the 40%, much less than the U.S. market. Yeah, because like you said, international is way less overbought. That's why I am in love with that VYMI ETF.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. My one and only love is VT. If you add VYMI, it's just another freaking thing. But I mean, if you're gonna choose an ETF, it's not a bad one. That's the international one, right? VYM's the US. Yeah, it's not a bad one.
And the reason I'm doing that is because I just think it's smart to put money outside the country right now. And then I'm actually not doing that. I had to pay off bills. Now I got to start crushing the TSP.
Yeah, if you're not maxing your tax advantage accounts, ladies and gentlemen, that's all you should be doing. You should be buying any individual stocks, max it, and then once you're maxed, then you can consider buying whatever you want to freaking buy, as long as it's 5% of your portfolio or less. You also check out Humble subreddit, penny stock. Y'all be laughing at the expectations. What is Humble? Sounds like a bunch of trash.
Bunch of people speculating that they're going to be millionaires next year on penny stocks because their cousins, uncles, brothers, former prostitute told them that.
Yeah, see, they'll become millionaires, but what they'll do is they'll sell their penny stock and then they'll buy a car and they'll go on a vacation and they'll buy a super expensive house. And before you know it, all the money's gone and then they're just back to square zero.
Dude, when I wanted to tell this on the live stream numerous times, but I've always forgotten. In 2016, when Bitcoin had its initial run-up, right? I was at this bar that I used to go to next to USF, and it's called the Copper Top. And I was outside talking to some people. I was talking to this kid, and he had this brand new car, and he was kind of autistic. And he had this really hot chick with him. And I couldn't figure it out till I heard him talk. He made a bunch of money in Bitcoin, like $200,000 or $300,000. And what did he do? Bought a new car. He's got a good-looking girl with him, and it's going to be a good time until that money dries up.
And yeah, that won't last that long, especially if you're buying new cars and going to fancy dinners. Like, you'd be shocked how fast you can spend a couple $100,000. That's why I think all these people are idiots. Like, they all want to be rich so they can buy Lambos. It's like, you're not going to be rich. You're just going to go right back to being poor. You're just going to have a nice car. Wow.
Yeah, it would have impressed me if he had said, yeah, dude, I bought the car, but I just bought low-cost index funds with the rest of the money. I needed a car. And I thought, why not? I'd be like, well, I see it, but you should have got a used car. You could have got that same car used. You know?
Yeah, I'm not touching a new. Even if I won $500,000, it's like I don't want to dump 10% of that into some stupid car when I could buy the world. I mean, I would have to have like tens of millions of dollars before I got like a really nice car. Now, I'm talking about crazy one.
Yeah, I would have to be crazy rich too. I mean, like, you know, Nate had to bring her up on the podcast that one day, but Eliza Schlesinger, the comedian, she's a multi-millionaire and she's still driving a Honda Civic that she won on Last Comic Standing.
Was that the one that you said you wanted to like sniff her butt or something like that? Or was
no,
that
what happened? What happened is, this is why I have to talk to Nate. He's not watching right now. If he is, this is why we have to talk. He has to stop bringing up ridiculous things that I say outside of the comedy club that I don't actually mean. Like he quoted something about David Hogue that I just said, and I had to take the live stream down because of it. And that's why we need to talk. And that's why I texted you. I said, like, I love the dude to death. He's a good friend of mine. He really is. I consider him a dear friend, but it's like every time you come on my podcast or live stream, you have to go to 11 with everything that you say. And that's why I got mad. And that's why I texted you the next day. I was like, dude, I got talked.
With that being said, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go to Facebook and we're going to look at all Jay's messages.
Oh, my what?
Our Facebook messages. We actually don't really say much on Facebook Messenger. It was a joke.
No, I know. And this isn't, like, honestly, it's not anything that I'm not going to tell him. And, like, if he is watching, this is why you got put in timeout. It's just that. It's nothing. We both love you to death. We both think he's funny. But it's just like, it was like he becomes a different person when he gets on the live stream. I have sat there and had hilarious, straight conversations with him about the stock market outside of the comedy club, where it is just two guys conversing and occasionally something ridiculous gets said. And then on the live stream, it was just 211. And I'm like, I was laughing, but I was like, honestly, it was just kind of I don't
It's
know.
the pressure of all the people. We have 13 people watching us right now, Jay. Don't you feel like you're under pressure right now?
No,
Does it
I
make
just
you
feel
want to
like,
act differently?
no, I feel like I'm just having a conversation about stuff I like to talk about, like the stock market and speculating, calling other YouTubers idiots.
Yeah, that's our forte. That's why we're here. I can't wait to do another I might even do it tonight. Another million token video. It's like, oh, even CoffeeZilla just basically confirmed everything I said. And then I want to do another one on Jeremy because I think Jeremy's just getting desperate and running out of ideas for a lot of his videos. Like he put up one where he was talking about Corsair. He put up one where he said, oh, we lost money. The stock went down. And then the next day, the stock went up like 2%. And now he's like, oh, we're rich again, everybody. It's like, why?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a discounted cash flow on Corsair, and I don't know what it'll. I don't know. I'll let the numbers speak for themselves. But I mean, it doesn't look like it's that overvalued right now, like a 16 PE ratio. But it's like, how much do I trust that industry to grow, and how much can you grow in the video game industry?
Well, here's the thing. Out of his picks, it's not horrible. But my argument for not buying it was they had a huge increase in sales during the pandemic when everybody was locked away and everybody was getting stimmy checks and everybody was bored. Now, well, hopefully we don't lock down again. That's another story. But now that we're open, I don't know if these internet companies are going to be selling as much crap as they were. And that could lead to a correction right there when we've baked in too much revenue growth for a lot of these companies and then it doesn't come to fruition.
Yeah. Well, FedEx last year, you look at its cash flows, shoots to the moon. And I'm like, oh, okay. COVID. Everybody shipped everything last year. So, I mean, and it's the rule. Whenever one sector runs up, it always comes back down to earth and another sector runs up. Just so, I mean, that's why I think where Amazon is, you're going to really see the correction is when they have a bunch of quarters coming up where they miss expectations because they just had that blowout year. And it's going to be the same thing for Walmart.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about from Walmart. I was like, oh, it seems, looking at the discounted cash flow, it's not bad. But if you don't start with that high number of free cash flow from last year and you go to like the year before, then you get a lot lower number. So I don't know. I freaking hate individual stocks. I mean, I got to have like an absolute banger because I just hate like all the guesswork and speculation because
I have 2 stocks in my portfolio right now. I sold out of a spec play that I threw $500 at last year. I got out of it with a little under $1,000, and actually 2 spec plays that I put $500 into. Got out at like $830 and got out of the other one at like $1,000. So I doubled my money on it. Now the only thing in my portfolio is BABA and Bank of America, individual stocks. And
yeah, I've got
because
BABA, Tencent, and Lincoln Educational Services. That's it.
Yeah, that was your little spec play, right? You wanted to see what was going to happen. There's nothing wrong with, even if you're just curious, like, I'm going to throw $500 at it and just watch it.
I mean, I put 300. It was nothing. It's like, oh, let's see what happens. I don't care if I lose it all. Let's see. I actually like Corsair. I bought it before the hype. I mean, it's not the worst play, but I don't know.
But also, you probably understand that industry far more than I do. So that's another thing. That's another thing that I'm always talking about on here too is, do you understand what the company does? I'm kind of out of the gamer loop. Like I messed up my hands from playing The Witcher too much. So I'm not.
Is that what messed up your hands, Jay?
No, the other way is it's fine. But so I'm out of I'm out of that. I'm out of the gamer scene. So I don't know. Like that's why it's like when somebody gives me a stock tip, oh, it's this company. Like I don't know anything about that subject. What do you want me to do? Well, you could learn about it. Cash flows don't appeal to me, and it's diluting the shareholders. Next.
Well, you don't understand, bro. Tattoos, food, tattooed shit, tattooed nutsack. It's TTNT. Food is hot garbage. I bought some at Sam's Club.
Why would
All
you
right.
buy vegan food, dude? Why would you be a herbivore?
Look, so I actually thought about buying it too, just to test it. Okay. But my theory is the food doesn't fill you up because it's liberal vegan commie food. So I'll try it, but if it doesn't fill me up, I'm gonna be very pissed. And I'm gonna do a review on it on YouTube. But that's the main reason I'm against the stock, is because it's
Dude, I thought up this ridiculous skit. Where like I haven't gotten vaccinated and like I'm in an obesity suit and I'm like dying of COVID because I didn't get the vaccine. And they're talking about like, well, do you regret not getting the vaccine now and wearing a mask? And I go, just sounds communist. I'm a capitalist to the end.
Dude, I think we're going back to masks with this new variant. I'm getting the feeling.
You in your commie state.
Yeah, I'm in Virginia, dude.
Dude, in your commie state,
week, probably.
DeSantis is making sure that we freedom to the highest level of freedoming. I mean, I got the vaccine. I felt that I had to because I'm a federal worker and I don't want, but well, you don't understand the science. You're right. I don't have an advanced degree, so I can only proceed under the tenets of what I know. So I got the vaccine, but it's like the mask thing. I go, this mask is political theater. It's all it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me wants to refuse to wear it because like I wore it for a freaking year. I got my vaccine like a good boy. And now they're, potentially thinking about doing it again. It's like, come on, I'm done with this crap. It's ridiculous. Time to take a stand.
You know who Jocko Willink is, right?
Yeah.
I go with his philosophy on the whole thing. It's easier for me to throw a mask on just so I don't have to argue with you. Because it's just really not worth that much energy from.
I mean, it was before, but now that we've stopped wearing them and then now potentially going back, it's just like, come on. Like, I'm starting to get pissed now. Before I didn't really care. Now it's irking me a little bit. I'm a gaming nerd. Kay, if you play StarCraft Brood War, let me know. I'll stomp you. I get the feeling that tattooed food is from Lafufu's butt. He does eat a lot of tattooed chef.
It was $7. I had to try it, and it was just god awful.
$7. Woo!
Dude, I just went to this little Greek restaurant that I go to. I had a gyro and onion rings for $15. And I would have to spend at least probably $48 on tattooed chef just to feel full for like an hour or two. It's like I don't understand
5 mac and cheese bowls to feel
full. Dude, I don't understand people. I don't understand people that can go, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna get a salad. And I'm like,
yeah, dude, that infuriates me. I'm like, what's wrong with you? How do you pull off a freaking salad? And they eat like half the salad. They don't even eat the whole thing. It's like, oh.
Well, this person at work just goes to me. She's like, I can't believe it. You eat steak every day. Do you eat anything other than steak? I go, yeah, I eat chicken. And that. But I eat chicken too. Like, sorry, dude. I have to have actual protein in my diet because I actually have a testosterone level greater than 100, like the Try Guy.
I don't normally get angry, but if you take me to a restaurant and it's expensive and I don't leave it full, I'm going to be freaking pissed. Most things don't bother me, but that's one of the few pet peeves I have. That and sitting in traffic.
Dude, that you know me Park was on Rogan, and if you don't know who she is, her appearance on Rogan is one of the most important appearances of all time, where she's talking about how the stuff that she sees reminds her of North Korea. And then she said, she's really funny. She goes, and I go to expensive restaurants and it's like these people pay money to not eat a lot of food. She was like confused and in California going to an expensive restaurant and they don't give you a lot of food. She's like, why would you do that?
You just go there just to say, I'm rich and I can afford this. You're not going there to eat. I mean, people probably go there and then they go stop at McDonald's on the way home.
Bro, I don't care how much money that you have. If you were like, do you want to go to the French Laundry? And I'd be like, do they serve steak? They're like, no, dude, this is artistic food. I'd be like, I'd rather go to the Waffle House.
Oh, I love Waffle House. Woo! Especially at 2 a.m. back in the day when I was in college. I got the vaccine because you're anti-mask? You're banned from my channel. Bill Ackman will bring Pornhub public. 69 billion.
In a SPAC. remember,
I was a profitable company.
Dude, you don't know how hard I was laughing last year when Bill Ackman was on TV going, this is the biggest event of our lives. I'm like, you mother effer. I know what you're doing. You're trying to drive more fear in the market. Oh, turns 23 million into 2 billion on a short. I'm like, I knew he was doing that.
Yeah, that's why I don't trust billionaires. I play StarCraft. What's up? We need to play, bro. I'm trying to get people that play StarCraft. Nobody freaking plays Brood War. And it's not StarCraft 2, Brood War. Nobody plays Brood War anymore. Everybody wants to play these stupid new games. So if you want to play, just shoot me an email and we'll set something up. Maybe we'll start a strongman StarCraft group. And you have to pay me $10,000 to join. You have to watch CoffeeZilla's latest. I just did. I really liked it.
I'll watch after the live stream.
Yeah, he confirmed, because like my theory was the guy didn't invest $1 million, and CoffeeZilla confirmed it just by looking at his crypto wallet. The guy only put in like 50 grand. So whoever was paying him for the tokens, he was just pocketing the money. Scumbag.
Oh, dude.
And now he has 100K more subscribers since that video. Now he has like 1.1 million. Oh, he's so amazing. He just scammed everybody. Subscribe.
I think I've said this before. You remember the old saying, it's easier to trick someone than to convince them they got tricked?
It's true. I'm about to sell out, bro. I'm getting tired of playing the nice guy. We need to start scamming our followers. Moderna is worth 168 billion from a vaccine. Yeah, and then what happens when the virus is gone?
It's never going to go away. We got Delta Plus now. Next year we'll have Super COVID Delta Plus. Year after that, Super Duper COVID Double Plus and a backflip.
The only bright spot is that we get to work from home now. Okay, that's the only thing that makes me happy about all this. For $10, it may have been better. Was this
blue
referring to a tattooed nutsack?
Is Blue Apron good? I've never had it.
What is blue? Is that a vegan?
They send it to your house with instructions and the exact amount of like spices or whatever you need. So it makes it foolproof. It tells you exactly how long to cook, and everything just comes right to your doorstep.
Yeah. See, my concern about those meals that get shipped to you is that their portions are made for like normal people that don't lift weights. Whereas if I eat their crap, I'd probably be starving. I'd probably eat 2 meals a day as opposed to 1.
Dude, because of all the tendonitis and everything, and I have to start working out again, I got a sled.
A sled?
Yeah, I can't wait. Dude, I don't know if you've ever used the sled, but I used to use it in Crunch Fitness down here in Tampa. Dude, the sled is just one of the best workouts, man.
Is that where you can like stack weights on it and you push it?
Yep, push it or you turn around and pull it and you can walk with it. Dude, it hits every part of your body. And especially for someone who's got all the injuries I have, dude, I mean, if I can get a total body workout without overexerting myself, it's like, why not?
Bro, I think you should swim. If you have like a bunch of injuries, that's the best way. Dude, it's so easy on your joints.
Yeah, dude, once I make it big on YouTube, I'll have a pool back here.
A pool? The one thing I will never have is a pool because they are a pain in the butt. And people are going to probably send their kids to try to like hurt themselves in my pool so they can sue me. It's like, Timmy, go sneak into Chris's pool and then trip and skin your knee, and then we can sue him for $5 million. Pools are like a liability magnet. They scare the crap out of me. Alpha Omega. 2030. Cube steak is great. Cube steak. You ever had cube steak?
No. I eat ribeye.
Not good enough for strong. Nothing's good enough for strong man. Okay. Nobody's
Dude, yeah.
worthy. Nothing's worthy.
Dude, what did you wrestle at in high school?
171.
Okay, so you're a big dude. I cannot imagine.
I was small back then. I'm like 220 pounds now.
Yeah, but you got the bone structure. Like if I was to wrestle, I'd have to be down at like 130. And in high school, I probably could have wrestled at 120 or 115. But I was only 155 pounds when I graduated. But I cannot imagine one of those tattooed chef bowls being anything other than a snack to you. Like I really can't. Like if you went over to somebody's house and you're like, dude, I'm hungry. You got anything to eat? You're like, oh, I got a tattooed chef in there. And you're like, no, I meant like food. I meant like food that'll fill me up.
I would just leave your house. I'd knock over your whiteboard and just leave. Yeah, dude, I eat a lot of. If I didn't work out, I would be a fat, disgusting bag of crap. That's why I work out like almost every single day just to stay fit.
Yeah, I was just taking time off. I took taking like 8 months off, just trying to get some of this tendonitis to go away. But looks like I'm just gonna have to suffer. I got to do something.
Swim, dude. I'm telling you.
I don't want to get skinny fat, dude. That's the worst thing to be.
I don't think you will with. You might with swimming. If I run, I get kind of fat. It's kind of weird. So I have to and run.
Wait, why do you get fat if you run? How's that work?
Okay, here's how this works. So I used to lift in high school, and then I stopped for a long time, and I just ran. Now what happens is my muscles go away, and the muscles are there to like basically, help you burn calories faster. So when the muscles go away, and I'm just doing cardio, I'm not burning enough calories from that cardio to not get fat. So I still have I have a gut and I have like really thin arms if I don't lift weights and I just run. But if I run and lift weights, I mix and match. That's when I'm at my peak fitness. It's weird. Like I can't lift by myself because then I get fat. I can't only run because then I get fat. I have to do both. That's the only thing that works for me.
At some point, I'm gonna get an assault bike too.
A what?
Assault bike.
What's assault?
Where you're riding a bike, but it doesn't assist you at all. You got to force your way through it.
Just get a Peloton, bro.
Why am I going to pay $2,000 so somebody can coach me? I already have enough motivation to work out.
Yeah, I am not bullish on Peloton stock, if anybody's wondering. Just basically because it's such a freaking ripoff. You got to buy the bike and then the subscription. Cardio plus weight training. That's the key, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a fat, disgusting slob, like I know all of you are, then this is the key to fixing yourself. Not one, not the other, both.
Hold on 1 second.
Big Cletus food and big pork with grease. What
yeah, I'm gonna go with. I'm not really bullish on Peloton. 174 PE ratio. Earnings per share is 64 cents. $33 billion market cap. That's got to take a massive haircut.
It's a good deal, bro. I mean, they offer expensive bikes and insanely expensive software. Good deal. Me, Kevin, bought so much Peloton. Of course he did. Didn't he buy Amazon too? And Amazon freaking tanked.
Well, Amazon's going to tank a lot more, and I'm going to laugh at them.
Dude, I'm telling you, we're going to take over YouTube one day when all these clowns get annihilated for their stupidity.
Peloton has share dilution, although it's not super bad. Oh, dude, they had negative cash flows in 2019. In 2020, they had positive cash flows. I wonder if all of this has to do with the pandemic.
100%, dude. People got bikes because they couldn't go to the gym. I thought about getting a treadmill because I mean, not a treadmill, but like a weight set because the gyms were closed. So, of course, all these workout fitness companies benefited. Me, Kevin also bought Redfin. I don't know anything about that. Etsy. Didn't you do Lemonade? Wasn't that like total trash?
Dude,
You
I
felt
did
more
Lemonade.
trash.
It's so bad. Just reading the 10K, where they're basically just, most like a good company's like, these are the risks we face. They're pretty much always systemic risks, and then a few unsystemic risks in there. Lemonade is just, we don't know if we'll ever be profitable. We're entering a highly competitive business environment. Like, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm all in, bro. I love when me, Kevin stocks crash. It's just makes my day. When my stocks crash, you can't laugh at me though. Only me, Kevin. I eat twice bacon, eggs for breakfast, beef or fish. Exactly. I have to have meat with every meal. If I don't have meat,
yeah,
it's not a freaking meal. It doesn't make
dude.
sense.
The only time that I don't eat meat is in the morning. Sometimes I eat bacon with my eggs, but I'm eating eggs. Eggs count like as an actual meal because they're filled with protein.
Yeah. I mean, but like some people, they just have like a piece of toast, like my wife. Like, what's wrong with you? Have some meat. Don't say any jokes, anybody. Truth be told, me, Kevin, still thinks it's to the moon, even though after that lawsuit. What lawsuit? Peloton? Is there a Peloton
Oh
lawsuit?
yeah, Peloton. Like little kids were getting completely messed up,
Damn.
which I don't understand why you're a parent and you're not looking at the Peloton. Like that could be a risk. So maybe I need to keep my toddler away from it. Because there were some kids that got like sucked under the treadmill, and I'm like, I mean, that's just obvious, dude. Like if you're a parent, you should be looking for risks to your kid. And
Yeah, well,
look,
that's why you have multiple kids, Jay, in case
I
something
know.
happens to one of them. Okay.
Also, in this, I just grew up in a different time when, you would have got sucked under the Peloton and your parents would have said, you learned something? Don't be stupid. That's what my parents would have said to me. I grew up in the
Your face
80s.
is like half ripped off and it's like hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Like it's like just a different time.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't imagine what like the kids are going to be experiencing over the next 20 or 30 years, all the technology. I mean, I remember dial-up internet, think about how crazy that is.
Well, you should have seen the shocked look on one of my niece's faces when they were showing me their latest phone. And she was like 14 at the time. I go, that's an electronic tether. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, do you know where I was in the summer? Down in town, riding my bike around town, playing sports, finger banging in the basement. I'm like, nobody knew where I was. I just had to be home for dinner. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
that's when you
be
learn
home by 5 o'clock. So, huh?
That's when you learn the joys of pussy.
Sneaking in, the parents aren't home.
I'm not gonna buy my kids like video games. Like, I'm not getting them a smartphone. I'm getting them a freaking flip phone. They're gonna hate me because like I don't want any of that crap, being around my kids. Well, having them glued to their phones all day.
Dude, I for the life of me, I find myself doing this. I'll be like this, right? If I got to wait on something, I'll be looking at my phone. I go, wait a second, what did I do? And then I'll put it in my pocket because I'm like, what did I do before this phone was here? Oh, I just patiently waited for stuff.
I used to read books more. Like I used to, when I was a kid, I'd always have a book. So if I had to wait and sit there, I'd have something to do. Now I just whip out my phone or whip out something else. And then I just check like YouTube or something. So I kind of miss the old days of reading books. Huh?
Like, baby, hold on to the baby. I got to flash my wiener at this girl.
Is that me, Kevin? Hey, Kevin, let me whip it out. Let me establish my dominance. Remember when me, Kevin, said 420 for Coinbase? Guys, if crypto keeps dumping the bed, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with this recent pump. But if crypto stays, down, the revenues for these companies are going to significantly decrease. That's why I don't like Coinbase, because it's all about cryptocurrency. And if crypto dies, Coinbase dies.
Oh, well, once Coinbase, Kathy Wood's whole ARK thing is just going to just get destroyed in any downturn.
Oh, yeah.
Coinbase is trading at 258 today. Well, it's not trading, but that's its price.
Yeah, I'm checking crypto right now. So it looks like they're all kind of going up pretty significantly. Yeah,
Dude, I looked at
25%.
it's up what?
25%. It's the Doge, bro. It's the future. Are you buying NJ?
What'd you say?
Are you buying into Doge?
Of course, dude. You know I'm Doge diamond hand till the end. I'm just lying. I'm lying about being an index fund investor and doing discounted cash flows. You know what I want to do on one of these awful companies is attempt to do a discounted cash flow just to show you how bad it is, where I'm like, I'm going to estimate that this company becomes 50% more profitable every year for the next 10 years. Let's see if we can get to a profit and I can estimate how much it should be selling for.
Yeah, it's the way to do it, but it's long and boring.
I think I looked at Plug. Yeah, and that was god awful. It was god awful.
Palantir, Neo, Plug, Workhorse. I haven't done Nikola, but I mean Nikola's garbage. The only one I haven't looked at, I might do a video on Peloton. But yeah, all these are trash. And Tesla, of course.
Well, Tesla's not, I don't think Tesla's really trash. I just think it's just so massively overvalued.
Well, yeah,
they are.
Yeah, but we're talking about stock because all the companies are cool, but some of them are. But yeah, we're talking about stock prices. Tesla's ridiculous. Who the hell would buy Lemonade?
A moron. That's who would do that. Like, I didn't pay attention to him enough. And then I just watched that. I watched that Millennial Money. And I just thought the whole time, I'm like, this is morons 4. Well, actually, when they did it, one of them wasn't there. So I was like, this is morons 3. And it's just like listening to Graham is the worst one, in my opinion, because he's the smartest one of the bunch. And he knows what they're saying is BS. And he's not calling them on it. That makes him the worst one.
Yeah, I mean, that's his buddies. Can't call them out. Hurt their feelings.
Well, you notice, like, what I did with my buddy John is I had him on my live stream, and I was like, yeah, man, just because I like you and I'm friends with you doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and agree with you.
Yeah. It's very weird. I think Graham's just like a really small, non-confrontational guy, which is probably why he doesn't like to debate his buddies.
Yeah, well, because Andre is sitting there going, oh, I like Tesla in the mid 5s. And I could just tell Graham, it's just like, what is this dude talking about?
I wonder what Graham's actual price target is.
Dude, I
would thinks deep down inside what Tesla's.
Dude, I would love to drop some acid in Graham's coffee and be like, let's talk, bud. What do you really think of these guys' price targets?
What else would you do with Graham after you got him really hammered?
Nothing. But his girlfriend is really attractive.
I don't think she's that good looking. I don't think she's ugly, but I don't want to say anything more because she saw one of my videos and probably wanted to like cut her wrist or something. So,
dude, that video was funny, but that's why I was like, dude, you might want to take that one down.
Yeah, dude, I can't deal with that. All right, let's get through some comments. We're coming up on 2 hours. We'll do the comments and then we'll close out. You eat meat, that's good. Vegans, well, they basically go extinct because they eat unhealthy food and they can't reproduce. So I wouldn't worry about replacing vegans. Dude,
and it's a good thing you're an index fund investor because if you weren't, you'd be eating a lot of meat down at the truck stop in retirement.
A lot of bussy. A lot of tuna smelling bussy. 6-year-old died from a Peloton machine. Jesus.
Darwinian evolution at its finest.
Yeah, kid died. Animals were getting caught in it. It was a faulty design. That's why Meat Kevin went all in, bro. He probably bought it.
Wait. I need to know how that story turned out. The dog's all right, though, right?
Oh, I'm sure a bunch of animals died.
No, that was the joke. I said that one time. Some tragedy happened and somebody was talking about like these people that died. And like they told me about it. They're like, isn't that awful? I go, yeah, but did the dog die? And they go, no. I go, not a tragedy. Not a tragedy.
Me, Kevin likes to buy companies where they eat up kids. Wow. I know. Isn't that disgusting? What an animal. Mary Palmer and her 5 sisters. Who's that? I don't. What's the reference there?
Beaten off.
Oh. I get it now. Everything Money Paul's buying Walgreens, saying it's heavily undervalued. Do you consider making? I actually did make a video on Walgreens. I'm not a fan.
If you want, I'll do a discounted cash flow after I do Amazon and then I do Tesla. I'm not in agreement with Paul on this. Maybe if I do the discounted cash flow, I might agree. Like I agree with him on Tesla, not on Tesla, on Intel, if that fits your portfolio. I agree with him that Intel is undervalued. I'm not buying it, but I mean, if that you consider that has a place in your portfolio, but on the look of it, I'm not really agreeing with his thesis, and that's fine. They might see something I don't, and you're not ever going to always agree with somebody. Wow, I mean, Chris and I always agree about total world stock market, but you're never. Sven Carlin has said stuff I don't agree with, and that guy's way smarter than me and more educated on the subject. But I think I could hold my own in a debate with him. Like if he said, this would be the best way for the average person to invest, and it was buying 20 or 30 stocks, I'd tell him, no, the average person and almost everybody, even yourself, is best off in index funds, no matter what your knowledge level.
Yeah, you don't have to buy every stock that all these other value guys buy. I mean, and me just looking at Walgreens, I don't see a moat, number one. Number two, it probably got a boost from COVID shots. And then number three, their gross margin has been declining every single year. It's like a steady march to death. So, I mean, maybe it is undervalued based on its cash flows, but long term, I don't see the appeal of a no moat stock.
And let me also say on this, I really do like their channel. So, because, I mean, even if they're wrong on a stock, I'm still going to, I'm going to be like, you learn that way. Because like, who was it? Peter Lynch said, if you pick 10 stocks and only 6 of them are wrong, you're an excellent investor. So that's really the speculation you're going into. So, I mean, even if Paul's wrong 10 to 20% of the time, it's still an outstanding selection. People say, oh, he was wrong on this one stock, so he's stupid. Well, whoever it is, maybe they just saw something differently and misinterpreted. I do stupid stuff at least 50 times a day. So
that's true. I mean, that's why Chicken Genius is a moron. I'll make a video like talking about his video that he put out, but one of his stocks went bad. It's like, yeah, that's going to happen. You can't project everything that's going to happen with every one of your companies. You're going to be
you could, as Paul would say, like the guy who is teaching him stuff, Paul's at 500 feet. That guy's at like 3 feet off the ground. That guy will still pick bad companies. That's why I tell you, put most of your money in index funds. It's like, it's the opportunity cost of it. That's why when you see my cash flows are baked in that I want a 20% return.
Yeah, that's smart. Just basically double the index, or you might as well just buy the freaking index. I might start doing that instead of 15. I might go 20 because
I think you should go 20.
Yeah,
because I was sitting there and I was like, why would I take any risk if I'm guaranteed between most of my investments? Not guaranteed, but I mean historically it's played out that day. That I'll get a 10% return in the total world minus inflation of 3%, a 7% return. Why would I take any risk? And then I have the Vanguard Healthcare as part of my portfolio. That right now it's returned between 14 and 15% since 1984. I know that's no guarantee of future success, but my thing is I can only go by history. Why would I add any more risk? Why wouldn't I say, okay, the opportunity cost I want 20 to 25% return, or I'm not buying a stock. And that's what my investment philosophy is boiled into. And do you know what? By doing this 90 to 95% in my portfolio, I think I can do it over the course of a lifetime with very few strategic buys, only buying when the market is absolutely irrational, but my tax advantage accounts are maxed. I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, the thing I just like to emphasize to people is most people aren't maxing their tax advantage accounts. They're buying all these freaking stocks in Robinhood. It's like, come on, before you even think about doing that, max your tax advantage accounts. And if you can't max them, work on increasing your income. And if you can't max them, well, that's just too bad. There's no point in buying any individual stocks because you haven't maxed your tax advantage accounts. Because you'll do way better that way. Just trust me. Gabrielle spelled layer bag. When I think of Walgreens. Walgreens makes me want to fall asleep, dude. I don't know. It's like, okay, maybe it is undervalued, but I'll put my money in VT. How about that?
I agree with the statement earlier. I'll look at the numbers, but I just slapped a fly got in here because I had my door open because I was doing shit, and I just straight pimp slapped him right out of the air.
What if you have a gator come into your house and your door's open? Is your door
open? It could happen, man. The gators are out there, dude, and they're plotting. In Florida, you got to be on your toes, man. Like, you could just be outside mowing your lawn, and there could be like a ninja gator in the trees. Stealth attack.
Yeah, I'd be scared to have a dog or like a small kid in Florida, you know?
Just don't go to Disneyland and play on the edge of ponds.
Yeah, that's my excuse because I never want to go to Disney. So I'm like, to my wife, I'm like, you want to go to Disney and have our kid get eaten by an alligator? If that's the case, then go right ahead. But if you love your child, we can't go to Disneyland.
Back in the 80s, Disneyland used to be a place for families to go. Now it is $2 million just for one day there. $100 parking, like $100 on food, $500 on the passes. Like, I don't understand how they're still making money, because if I'm a middle class dude, like right now, I make high five figures by myself, right? If I was married to a woman who also made high five figures, and she was like, we should go to Disneyland, I would go, we can't afford that. Why are we going to go and spend at least $1,000 on a day in Disneyland?
Well, because they just use credit cards. I mean, because people think it like you have to bring your family there because it's like a American tradition, and they'll spend whatever they got to spend to check that box to say they went to Disneyland. And I say no. I say that's a freaking ripoff, and I'm never doing it. You can go to Gatorland, by the way. If y'all ever want to go to Orlando, go to Gatorland. It's super cheap, and you get to feed alligators.
Dude, that's what I have to do, is just take a day and go to Gatorland. Because I want to see the big like crocodiles they got there.
Dude, Gatorland's cool. I would highly recommend it. It's like $35 to get in, $40.
When I go to Ocala, after I'm hanging out with my mom and my stepdad, there's some ponds there. We go gator hunting. Like, I mean, we're staying away from the pond, but we're trying to see if there are any. We found one that was like 5 feet long. He was just sunning himself. Took a couple pictures. Went somewhere else, because even a 5-foot alligator will screw you up.
Yeah, you don't want to play with alligators. But if you go to Gatorland, you actually get to like touch an alligator. So I actually got a picture of me, like they tape up its mouth and then you just sit on its back and like lift its head. It's probably torturing the animal, but you can touch an alligator while you're there.
I'm not going to pull his head back, but I'd like to go in there and touch him.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to like wrench it up, but for some reason they want you to like lift the head a little bit when you're sitting.
I would probably tell them I'm not doing that. The gator doesn't want me to do that. I just wanted to see what it was like to get up close to one of these things.
I lifted his tail so I could see its nuts.
Does he have gator balls?
No, I don't know.
I thought reptiles, it was on the inside.
Yeah,
that's why imagine being a big bullfrog or a big toad, and you had nuts on the outside of your body. When you were like down here, these toads get like this big. They're so big that when they jump, you hear it on the concrete. Now imagine if he had balls.
Woo! Balls of steel. All right, let's get through the comments. Daddy's getting tired. All 20 to 30 me Kevin stocks are down. Only Square. Yeah, Square and AMD need to go down too.
And AMD's massively overvalued.
Kevin is an idiot. If anybody listens to him, then you deserve to lose all your money. Kathy will be the face of the next stock market crash for sure.
Oh yeah.
We found the plug. What, the butt plug? Even in real estate, me Kevin's an idiot. Latest real estate, he was telling his viewers to paint the inside of apartments flat gray instead of semi-gloss white. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know anything about real estate, but that doesn't make sense to me.
I hate real estate. It's way too capital heavy. It's way too freaking risky. Whatever. If you want to do real estate, go right ahead, but it's not my cup of tea. She's after the money. We're all after the money, Julius. I want all your money. Why haven't you bought my book, huh? Every book I sell, I get $2. Let's go. Chop, chop.
During every bubble. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just reading that. No, what he said is perfect.
Yeah. I mean, you think ARK is going to be up in 50 years, or at least compared to the market? Pfft.
Dude, out of the top 20 holdings, like 17 of them are crap. I talked about this. You have Lockheed Martin as the smallest position, and that's your best company.
I mean, it's like 11% Tesla. That right off the bat tells me she's a moron. I would have sold all of it if I was managing that fund.
Could you imagine?
Huh?
Could you imagine us coming in there like
taking over?
Let me tell you why you're stupid. Go to the back of the. Meet Kevin thinks you should buy. Did he really say that, dude? Because if that's the case, I would tell him to eat his own head.
Yeah, there's so many downsides to real estate. At the end of the day, you're buying one house in one city, in one country, in one state, or whatever. Or you could buy every company in the world and not pay taxes on it. Tough choice. Here's somebody shuffling out around my door. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Will be Kathy Wood, me Kevin. So Kathy Wood's going to be the Secretary of the Treasury. Me Kevin's going to be the president.
And America will be broke. That's a great Batman quote. I know it wasn't Batman that said it, but
I'm a huge fan of index funds. I have 5 of my friends start recurring index funds. You're just 26. God bless you.
Dude,
see?
Yes, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Tell your friends to subscribe to our channels. We'll set them straight if they deviate. Gee, are you a guy or a gal? Ooh, screw college trying to get a girlfriend.
Throwing game.
What's up?
And he's throwing game. Cedar Point, Six Flags are a better value for your money. Yeah.
Yeah, Gatorland is by far the best value for your money. Just saying. I meant Graham's girlfriend. What was it? What did you say?
The bottom one.
Oh, she's after the money. Graham's girlfriend.
No. Screw college. Chill, dude. I'm a guy.
Chill, screw college. Probably like, yeah, that's what I wanted to hear.
That would be funny too. Like we're getting interviewed on the news. Like, what happened? Like, listen, this isn't that like talk show host thing that happened in the late '90s where they brought they brought this guy on. They said somebody has a crush on you, and it turned out to be a dude. Did you ever hear about?
No.
Do you know what happened afterwards?
The guy murdered the other guy.
Yeah.
Listening.
Yep. Yeah.
Just getting impatient.
All right. Well, I'll let you go.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to our channels and buy my book. See that? It's upside down. Buy this book. I get $2 every time I sell a book.
I'm at like
nuts.
I'm at like 140. I'm on like what page 140 somewhere in that area.
Isn't it the best book you've ever read, Jay Nagy?
I told you I like it because it's written. You know, one of the reasons why I liked the little book that beats the market is because it's so easy to read. Like your book is just you wrote it at a 6th grade level, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing for this subject.
Yeah, because most people don't understand all the basic all the complex formula crap. You want to tell Jim straight. Somebody's trying to get Bucci in here. LOL. Down to 797 subs. See, I can never win, ladies and gentlemen. I think I hit 800 for like 5 minutes, and then now I'm down. But whatever. Anyway, that's it. Like, subscribe to both of us. Tell your friends about us. Y'all have a wonderful day.
All
Bye,
right,
Jay.
we'll talk.
Yes.
I gotta go to the bathroom.